everyone, and welcome back to another episode on the Hope and Renewal podcast. This is where faith meets real life and hard truth is held with compassion. Again, this is your favorite host, Antonio Banks. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope that this message touches your heart, and if so, that you share it with someone. Today's episode is Reunited by Death. See, the phrase reunited by death speaks to the sad but common reality that families who once gathered in joy are now only reuniting at funerals. It's a reflection on how time, distance, pride, or pain often separates us until the death of a loved one forces a temporary reconnection. But see, this message goes deeper than that. It's a plea for restoration before tragedy, urging us not to let death be the only thing that brings us back together. See, I remember once when our reunions were around kitchen tables and backyard grills. Now, too often, they happen beneath dim lights and whispered prayers in funeral homes. See, I also remember, just like most of you probably do who have family reunions, when family reunions were events, not just a gathering, but a celebration and sacred and intentional. There was always someone in the family who made it happen. They were the glue to the family, the soul to the family, and the anchor to the family. See, for us, the Banks family, that person was our Uncle Richard. Whether it was a cookout in the backyard, a birthday at the park, or just a Sunday at someone's house, Uncle Richard made sure we showed up. He understood something many of us forget, that no matter how busy life gets, family matters. And it doesn't just stay together by accident. Another person that was the glue to our family was on my mother's side. His name was Uncle Ben. He was another legend. He didn't just keep us connected, he preserved our history, the names, the stories, and the strength. He was the reason we remembered where we came from and who we were. See, they were giants in our lives, just like I'm sure most of you got the same giants. Not perfect, but because they showed up, held on, and put us in. And they believed in us. But then life happened, right? We grew older, got busier, and eventually the one who held us all together has left. The phone calls slowed, the birth texts were forgotten, the visits became postponed indefinitely. And you know what I'm talking about. Before you know it, months turn into years, kids grow up, people drift, and then it happens. That dreaded phone call, that unexpected text, that post on social media, and someone you once laughed with, hugged, played tag with as a kid is now gone. And just like that, everyone comes back together, but not at the park, not around a dinner table, but at a funeral home. Suddenly, the living room is replaced by a casket, the laughter replaced by tears, and instead of joy for reunion, we get hugs soaked in sorrow, trying to make us for a time we never should have lost. You look around and see faces you barely recognize because those kids from families' cookouts are grown now. They have families of their own, and you're stuck wondering what happened to us. See, that kind of grief led reunion. It reminded me of a powerful story in the Bible, Joseph and his brothers. If you don't know the story, I'm going to give you the story. See, Joseph's brothers betrayed him. Jealousy drove them to sell their own flesh and blood into slavery. They told their father he was dead and carried that lie for many years. But as life unfolded, God had other plans. Joseph rose to power in Egypt. A famine brought his brothers back, desperate for food, unknowingly kneeling before the very brother they had betrayed. It wasn't a simple reunion. There were tests and there were tears. But eventually Joseph revealed himself. They both wept, they embraced each other, and they reconciled. And still, it wasn't until their father Jacob died that the real test came. See, in Genesis 50, chapter 15 says this: when Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrongs we did to him?" Sound familiar? Grief has a way of bringing the unspoken to the surface, of stripping away pride. And in Joseph's response, we see the power of forgiveness. What a man meant for evil, God used for good. What was broken, God mended. What was lost, God restored. See, in Genesis 50:20 through 21, it says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. So then, don't be afraid." See, and I wonder, what about us? Look at the world we're living in. Families torn apart, friends divided over politics, race, pride, or pain. People walking around carrying resentment like a badge of honor. What if we stop waiting until it's too late? What if we made the call now? What if we forgave? What if we showed up? We don't need another funeral to bring us together. We need love to bring us back. We need the spirit of Uncle Richard, Uncle Ben, and yes, even the spirit of Joseph. So what I want you to take today is this. So to everyone listening today, maybe you lost someone, and that loss brought people back together, if only for a moment. Maybe you're the one who has been carrying the hurt. Or maybe you're the one who walked away. Maybe there's someone out there you need to call. Not tomorrow, but today. Let Joseph's story remind us that healing is possible, even when the wounds run deep. Let it remind us that forgiveness is more powerful than revenge. Let it stir something in us to stop waiting until death gives us a reason to come together. Because life, it's happening right now. So before another name is engraved in a stone, before another reunion takes place in a room lined with flowers and tears, let's forgive. Let's make time for each other. Let's reconnect. Let's laugh, hug, and celebrate while we still can. Because family isn't meant to be reunited by death. It's meant to held together by love. Let me end with this. If this message spoke to your heart today, share it with someone you love. Don't wait. And if you're feeling led, reach out to that family member or friend. Yes, even the ones it's hard to call. Let love speak louder than regret. Until next time, stay rooted in love and never forget, reconciliation is still possible.